Hey there, YouTube. Just thought I would come to you for a quick Sunday afternoon video. I had a couple of things here, and I said this would be the perfect time to do it. People are always asking me, and I hate when people do that, but this one is actually true. You know, when creators out there say, oh, everybody's always asking me. No, they're not. This one, cross my heart, they really are. People are always asking me about picking good fruit on a plant-based diet. Like there's some magical thing, or do you go by feel? Do you go by vision? Do you go by smell? And this may not be exactly what you're thinking it's going to be today, because my process is a little bit different. I haven't found any way just to reach into theoretically a pile of fruit and just be like, okay, that's the one. Now, I did have quite a good mango radar when I was in Costa Rica, and I could go to the market and kind of just feel which ones were best. But in all seriousness, this has been my experience everywhere I've bought fruit. I've lived in Costa Rica. I lived in the city in Costa Rica when I first went plant-based. I moved to the beach about a year and a half after that. So I bought it in the city, which was different than buying it at the beach, because it's just, I was in a little small town there, and there was a lot more fruit markets and things around there. But even in the city, lots of availability. And then I came back to the States about 6 years ago. I was in a small town here in South Alabama for a while, and now I'm in a larger area. So this has been the case, and even when I've traveled, this has been the case. I have found that when you find a store, I got some mangoes. I was bought some these little Atalfo mangoes at Sam's the other day, and they were cheaper than those Asian market mangoes that I got last weekend. I don't remember if I shared those, but anyhow, these turned out to be good, and I have enjoyed them. They've been really good. And also today was a good day because I had a papaya that I'm going to most likely cut in the morning. See, it's getting kind of ugly on the end right there. Now the thing is, I found, don't be afraid to waste a little fruit. Don't be afraid to experiment a little bit and kind of figure out exactly fruit for yourself, because there's nothing like that hands-on. Like you cut a fruit and it's not good, and you learn why it's not good, or maybe you cut it too early. And a lot of times when people think that they have picked bad fruit, it is just simply they're not cutting it at the right time. Here's what I found. Most every place that I've shopped, either, and they'll kind of come in waves, maybe from time to time, they either have good fruit there or they don't. Like everywhere that I've ever bought mangoes, including right now, they're good. It's not like I'm looking through trying to pick the 3 good mangoes out of a bunch. Now I do try to find, because I'm ready to eat them, I try to find the ones that are the most ripe without being soft. I don't try to buy them super soft. I don't try to buy them soft in the market. And then I let them get home. And then like these I could cut. These I'll probably cut in the morning. They're just, you can see they're a little bit bruised. They're getting there. They're soft to the touch. And I'll peel these. Now, if I were to peel these and they were underripe, I would be like, you learn something there. You're like, okay, when they look like this, you let them go just a little bit more. Papaya. Listen, every time I talk about papaya, show a papaya, people are like, it tastes like feed, it tastes horrible, it tastes this and that. And I hear you. I said exactly 100% the same thing for I don't know how many years when I was first in Costa Rica. This was back before I was plant-based, but I tried papaya from time to time, and I had it in fruit bowls, and I could eat it when it was with other fruit, but it just never was to my suiting. Then when I started buying papayas, I still, from time to time, I'm just like, yeah, I don't like this, and I'd throw it away. I found that a lot of the time I was cutting papayas too soon. Like I said, you see this one, you can get a little bit tempted. You're starting to get a lot, sorry, my light in here doesn't pick up colors as well as it should. There's a lot more orange on this than it's probably showing. I'm seeing in the camera, it looks more green, but it's a little bit more orange. And I might. I'm finding a couple of sections that are a little harder, so I might wait another day to do that. But I'd wait. I look like that. I don't get like, oh my God, that's rotten, I got to cut it right now. Because I've done that before. And I found if you hang in there, don't get it. And like I say, even if you, like this papaya cost me $4.35. They're not as good on price here as they were in Costa Rica, but this cost me $4.35. If I cut it and it's bad, Okay, I don't want to do that over and over and over and waste fruit, but I've learned something. And each time you do that, see if you can learn something yourself. But depending on where you are, I would say either it's either either your store is getting good stuff right now or they're not. For instance, like even the Asian markets in Pensacola, where I've bought a lot of mangoes in the past, and buying here, just like everything, my Publix up here goes through those waves. And when I go through one of those waves, I just kind of stop buying mangoes. They will be good. Like I can buy mangoes for a whole month, buying them weekly. They're all good. They're all good. They're all good. Then I'll get to a period and I'll buy some, and they disappoint me. And I'll cut 2 or 3 and they disappoint me. So I know not to buy. I wait a little while and then I try them again. So there is going to be a lot of trial and error in there. And I say you really, like I'm going to repeat myself from earlier, you really need to get intimate with it instead of just asking people, hey, what about this? Is this right? Do it. Experiment with it. Don't be so fanatical like I can't waste food. I can't waste a little bit of fruit. You probably will. You're probably going to have some bad fruit in the beginning, but if you just start picking out fruits, paying attention to when you cut them, like how they were then, if you cut something like I say and it's too ripe, if it is really overripe, and I've had that more with the mangoes than with papayas. If you cut into one and you've let it get a little too soft, a little too bruised, and it's overripe, then with that batch or the mangoes you're getting now, you start saying, okay, these mangoes I need to cut when they're like this. And you just, like I say, you just you cut a bunch of them. That's the best way. It's kind of like practice when you're trying to learn anything or figure anything out. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So just get out there, try out some fruit, and don't just throw out papaya. I'm telling you, I swear to God, hated the stuff. I couldn't. I talk so bad about papaya. I'm surprised that I don't have some kind of karma that makes me sick from eating them. But anyhow, that's all for today. Just wanted to give you a quick one there. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow or Tuesday. Peace.